Jesus, lads, it's kind of over now, isn't it? It is kind of over. I'm in a little bit of shock here. It's kind of over. And this is, again, not the old greatest thing in the world. But here we are. Here we are. We got out of position packs coming out on St. Patrick's Day. And 2K, I cannot be more evident or more clear with you. If we don't see Pat Burke tomorrow, man, you've seen this has been super happy fun time, DBG. If you don't give us the one Irish player on St. Patrick's Day, there's literally one. If you don't give him it, and I understand for a lot of countries, like as far as for Indian players go, you can't give us Satnam Singh because he's a wrestler contracted to AEW, and obviously 2K with WWE, you can't really give us Satnam Singh. But why is this we need Pat Burke, but also it's 30 seconds. 2K are blowing their load incredibly early, and lads. And when I say that, you might be saying oh, what do you mean by that? First of all, here's Jimmy Buckets. Then there is a 7-foot tall point guard, alpren Sengun. One thing I'm interested in though is what is Sengun's release like? Because he's probably gonna get Sengun on quick or very quick. I need to see what Sengun's release is like to see how much of an issue this is. But regardless of him being, he's not going to be that bad, by the way. He's not that bad. I'm going to show you guys last year's and compare them to this year's drop. He's not going to be that bad as a point guard because tall guys don't really move that well. But I just want to check, because if his release is chick, then we could be in for a rough time. Klay at center is worthless, by the way. Absolutely worthless. And why is Jalen Green the best player in the Rockets? You know what? That release on very quick could be really nice as a secondary ball handler. If you just want a tall player to match up with a Simmons and he's 30k, he'd actually be very, very good as a secondary ball handler. So now we're gonna look. Obviously, Scottie's gonna be relatively cheap. But do you want to know what the funny thing is? If you want a tall point guard, you gotta run Luke Walton. Matisse thybulle, point guard, shooting guard, 6'5", weird choice. And I'll talk about this monstrosity later. Shooting guard, small forward, Aaron Gordon. Point guard, Draymond Green. And then Bill of Russell and Jimmy Butler, point guard. Jimmy Butler is gonna be elite, but man's a cone. Call a cone a cone. But I want to show you guys last year's out of position set. Because last year's out of position, I felt like there was one broken player in last year's set. And it was, if we look at last year's set here, this is what we got for the first out of position. We got Giannis, who was, I forgot, Giannis was wild. But if we look at the smaller guys, lower tier guys, we got a Penny Cardaway card that was kind of useless. A Jimmy card that was kind of, Jimmy's been in 2 years in a row, but him a power forward instead of point guard. If you wanted a point guard from this set, you realistically had to use your Tony Kukoc. He was the only real tall point guard, and he had flaws. Tony Kukoc had fundamental dribble style, couldn't shoot a leaner. And this was our top guy. And then obviously this card was ridiculous. Never run him a point guard, but he was just a ridiculous center in this game. By the way, I really was hoping we get a card like this. A point guard like Arvydas Sabonis. Because this card would be God this year. He would literally be Zeus. But in this year's drop, we have got Draymond. We've got point guard. As far as the lower tier guys go, the good thing is Herb Jones is a shooting guard. If Herb Jones is going to be cheap and he's going to be God tier shooting guard, Al Horford's release is iffy. He won't be good. Klay Thompson, center, worthless. I don't know. I think Luke Walton might be the best. Luke Walton might be one of the best cards in this set. But then they have this fecker. And this is the one thing you show with 2K when it comes to odds, because I can guarantee you that this guy is the rarest player, by the way. I can guarantee you this guy does not come out of packs tomorrow. And I also can guarantee you when people said that there's going to be a pack stripe. Oh my god. It'll be 30k. Henry tweeted out, of course I got point guard Scottie Barnes. My team does have a sniper on his wallet. I'm like, he'll be 30k. He'll be 30k. But like, the mad thing is that I can guarantee you that Tacko Fall is the third rarest player here, despite the fact that he's 95 overall. So 2K know who's going to be rare and who's not going to be rare, by the way. So Tacko's going to be rare. Luke Walton's going to be really rare because he's a 6'9" point guard. And then they're going to make Sengun and Scottie Barnes really rare. And they're going to give everybody that opens, I'd say 9 opals out of 10 are going to be Aaron Gordon because he stinks. For Dark Matters, Bill Russell could be interesting. You're probably going to get only Jimmys. Probably going to get only Jimmys for Dark Matters. And then for Pink Diamonds, I think you're going to probably get 90% Klays and Al Horfords. You're going to get Klay, Horford, and Matisse thybulle. Those guys are going to be a ton of impacts. I think Herb Jones is probably going to be out a lot. But I can guarantee you that Luke Walton, who's going to be really good, by the way. Like, I cannot stress it enough. Luke Walton might be that guy. Luke Walton's going to be like my backup point guard. I'm glad I sold GP. I'm glad I sold my guys. But Luke Walton always is a beast in 2K. If you guys remember Luke Walton last year, he's always had a really, really good release. He's always been good, and he has a good player build. I wonder why was Luke Walton last year, actually? Because he's a player, I think, that has changed heights over the years. So Luke Walton last year was 6'8" with a 6'8" wingspan. In 2K21. Because you never know what they're going to do with historic players. Luke Walton was 6'8" with a 6'8" wingspan. Was he always 6'8"? I could have swore Luke Walton was 6'9". No, he's always been 6'8", 6'8" wingspan. So he'll be 6'8", 6'8" wingspan point guard. We're probably looking at a better Denny, probably. And like being able to run him on a relative budget squad. I reckon prices, you're probably going to look at Walton at around like 25k, Tacko 150k. And if you're wondering why I'm saying Tacko is going to be 150k, if you guys know how overalls work, basically if you're 7'6" as a center, you can be a scrub stats and badges wise. You can be a scrub stats and badges wise as a center because height is like one of the most important things for a center's overall rating in this game is height. So if you have a 7'6" player, it's actually hard to kind of keep them lower rating. But if you're a primary power forward, it makes it really, really hard. Like, really hard. And, like, things that... 3-point shooting comes into play with power forwards ratings. So do a lot of perimeter things. So Tacko is either going to be a perimeter player. He's either going to have god-tier perimeter defense, can handle the ball, or he'll be able to shoot. And either way, it doesn't matter because... you use him as your inside. You play 4 out, 1 in with Tacko and Yao. Nobody's scoring on you or getting a rebound. It's over. Like, it is over. The one saving grace to all this is that if Tacko is pulled a lot, like he might be 75k, and having Tacko Fall on your team at 75k means that you can run a small ball center and just put Tacko Fall guard in your team center. That is like the one thing. But that just means Tacko's in everyone's team for the rest of the year. Like, and then you can also come up against Yao and Tacko and it's equally as Jover. Like, I say Jover, I mean over. But yeah, I'm really not a fan of out of position because of the way the game plays this year. If you guys know, the only thing that matters is height. But at the end of the day, these cards are going to be god tier. I know in general, like, these cards are going to be, like, really, really good. So, height is everything. These cards are going to take over the game. The good thing is that there's going to be a lot of guys that kind of can match up. And the weird thing is that we don't have any really tall small forwards. We don't have any 7-foot tall small forwards, but by the end of tomorrow, if you're running a point guard 6'4" or under, you're probably going to be at a big disadvantage. If that's the video, thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.